We are here at Mayo Movie World Castlebar for the Mayo premiere of My Sailor My Love, which was filmed on Achill Island.
It's absolutely brilliant to be involved again in yet another film release and a premiere here in Mayo for a production all recorded both in Achill and out as far as Newport and Castlebar. So it's putting the net out a bit further this time, Henry.
Yeah, and of course we all talk about the Banshees of Inisherin, which was a fantastic success, filmed on Achill Island. How did this come about, this film now being filmed in Achill Island?
Well, we have to put our thanks to Christine Island, the film locations manager on this film. My Sailor My Love himself and Edwina Forkin came together. She's producer with Samsung Films, and they chose Achill, luckily enough, because it is worth a lot to the economy, Henry, as you can imagine. This film alone was over 1.5 million also left in the economy. So that's direct income into the island in the likes of accommodation, bedding, and the services involved. So it's really exceptional.
Yeah, so it has a huge spin-off for tourism on Achill Island.
Well, not alone has it a huge spin-off economically when they're filming, but the marketing that's going into it, as you can understand, it makes my job a lot easier when the likes of yourself are interviewing me and these films are going worldwide. So it's phenomenal, it's great. It makes our job in Achill tourism, I know it's a little more difficult in that there's a lot more questions to be answered and a lot more phones to be answered, but every day is a good day this weather.
What's your secret? I suppose I just take him as I find him.
Dear Annie, can't you see what's happening here?
Dad?
His whole life has been about making sure that all of his needs were met.
Grace! Starts to feel like a stranger.
He may tell you he loves you, Annie, but there's only one person he cares about.
Yeah.
Well, it's a film that we're really proud of. It's a Finnish-Irish co-production, and we shot it all on Achill and in North Mayo.
And the film itself, it's quite a story. It's not a fictional type of story. It could be a type of a story that you could see in any family in Ireland.
Very much so. It's very authentic, I think, and it deals with family tensions and all that implies. But crucially, it deals with we all know films about having a first love. But this is a film about having a last love, or a love at the end of your days, And I'm old enough to be excited at that concept.
And as producer of this film, what did you enjoy about when making this?
I just felt the people of Achill took us to their heart, really, to put it simply. It was, we thought long and hard about where we'd shoot the film. And then when we saw Achill and found locations, we almost said we have to shoot it here. And we had a very small budget. I mean, there was another film happening at the same time, shooting there, which had a budget of, I'd say, 6 times our budget. So, but I feel, we made our money go very far in Achill with the local community across the board.
And still a very impressive cast as well.
Yes. They were very committed. They came down. We were shooting for 5 weeks. They came for 6 weeks. They all stayed in their own houses. We organised houses kind of for them there. So they all felt like part of the local community once we got going.
You and Howard are friends, right?
That's right.
But you work for him.
Can I tell you a secret?
I'm actually quite enjoying myself.
So, he didn't tell you I was coming?
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot.
Oh, this means the world to me, actually, this film. It's got a very, very special place in my heart. And the reason I'm here tonight, actually, was because of all of the screenings of this film. I wanted to be at the Mayo screening because my West of Ireland family are here. My sister lives in Mayo. It was the most extraordinary place to come after lockdown. We got to film in Achill Island. And so to come here and film at the end of all the lockdowns was the most healing experience. And it's very much a character in the film, Mayo. So it means the world to me to be here. And it's a film that I had talked to the director about a year and a half before we got to do it. and so it was living with me for a long time. So I was very grateful when we got to film it, and I'm very proud of the film.
I was just reading one of the reviews in the Guardian newspaper, and they singled you out for your wonderful portrayal of a lady on the verge of a breakdown. You're the daughter, Grace, and of course there's tensions between yourself and your father, another woman coming in. Was it a difficult role for you?
Oh yes, I mean I think we all can kind of identify with those familial relationships that get quite difficult, where we get confused sometimes between helping a loved one and hindering a loved one. And I think Grace has a very difficult time letting her father go. She had lost her mother when she was very young, and she's trying to help, but that love in a way, you know, becomes confused. So it was, and she's feeling a lot of loneliness and a lot of pain. So it was quite heartbreaking, but I felt a lot for her because she's trying to do her best. It's just misguided.
I'm stretched to breaking point as it is. I have my father to worry about. I have this useless bloody therapy I go to week after week.
Pat, we're here again in Mayo Movie World for another film premiere, another movie that was made in Mayo, My Sailor My Love.
That's right. We're very, very happy to have you back with us, Henry. You're more than welcome. And of course, it's great to have Achill Tourism back with us again. This is a wonderful film. It's beautifully made. The scenery of Achill is just stunning in it, absolutely stunning. And it's going to bring a tear to your eye.
Father Kenny, I know you're a man of many talents, as we're all aware of, but I never knew you were a film star on top of all your other...
That's a big word, that's a big description. No, I'm a Edwina's country cousin, and she asked me to come to Achill Island, to step in as a priest, the role of a priest in one of the scenes.
Yeah, and of course, Edwina, you're a line producer for the film, My Sailor My Love.
Absolutely, and it was amazing to come down to Achill, and I had about a long time ago I was a trainee AD on Love and Rage with Greta Scacchi and Daniel Craig, and then I was able to come back and line produce a movie.
I was a curate at that time.
Yeah, you were a curate.
I didn't know David Craig and James Bond was there.
I remember dancing in the community hall. You're a great dancer.
Yeah. Christy, you're the locations manager for the movie My Sailor My Love. Did you search a lot of places to come up with the right location for the film?
Well, we did. When Klaus Harrod, the director, came to Ireland first, we looked at a few different spots. We'd say Connemara was another option, and when he came to Achill Island, that was it for him, you know. So I had to make it work there, and obviously, I suppose the big thing was the house in the film. The main house in the film was the hero house.
That was set in Corran, wasn't it?
It was Corran, yeah. It was the old George pub in Corran. So it had a bit of space, even though it was under renovations at the time. But it had a bit of space that we could work there, you know what I mean? So, and then basically what happens is we have to put the rest of the jigsaw together. And the people on Achill Island were very good to us, you know what I mean? Even the school. Originally there was a day there that we were just going to do a Saturday, but it became 2 days. So I had to go back to Irene in the school and say, what's the chances, you know what I mean? So in fairness, they were very good to us now, all locations, you know. The school brought the kids away on a school tour for the day, you know what I mean? So, you know, it all worked out perfectly, like. You know. We had one hard thing that we eventually found. We had an orchard. There was a scene with an orchard in the film, and there's an orchard. I can't think of the name of the place now, but there was an orchard there, and they had a bad season. And when we went back to look at it, there was only 2 apples on 8 trees.
How did you manage that?
We found a little orchard at the back of a house up near Kiel. It was an old restaurant one time, and there was 6 trees there, and we made it work.
There we are.
Now, you have a particular interest in this movie, My Sailor My Love, which has been premiered here in Castlebar this evening.
We do indeed. Yeah, they came to view the premises, the restaurant and the hotel there a couple of times, and they decided they were going to use that. They contacted Teresa several times.
They approached us at the Achill Cliff House Hotel in Keele, just across from the beach, and they thought it was an ideal location for their shots. And they brought in all their extras and their gear one morning, and they set at tables where they filmed them having a breakfast. And everything was lovely, and we were delighted to be part of the film, and we hope it does very well for them.
You'll be getting a lot of interest now. People want to come and stay with you after this film.
Oh, I hope so, yeah. It was very exciting. There was a great buzz around the island when all the filming was going on, and we hope it'll attract more films, and they were really lovely to have around the island and very courteous to everybody, and very nice to the locals, gave them all chances to be extras and make them feel great for a few days.
And of course, with the Banshees on Achill Island, and now My Sailor My Love, do you notice any increase in the amount of tourism now ringing you and saying, look, we'd like to come to Achill, any chance we can stay in your place?
Certainly, we've never seen the phone as busy as in the winter time. The month of January, after the Banshees got their BAFTAs and so on, there was several people making inquiries and booking, and not just booking for one night, but booking for several nights. So it's a great boost to the island, and we hope it'll continue for years and years to come.
If you're having a hard time managing, Dad, we could get someone in, a housekeeper. Just to warn you, my father can be a little bit tricky.
How much is she paying you?
400.
I'll give you 5. If you never darken my door again.
Well, I'm just out and I'm just absorbing it all. The first thing I'm feeling is humbled. I feel really humbled to live where we do in the west of Ireland with such amazing scenery. I suppose we can't... it's just such a beautiful place to live, and to be able to see it on screen, it's something very, very special. But just at the end of the film, what I really loved, I'm the type of person, I stay to the cinema to the very, very end. My family are always slagging me. I love reading all the credits and seeing who worked on the film. And I think one beautiful thing that they really did was they listed all the extras, which is a very, very special thing to do, to credit the couple of hundred people, local people that worked on the film. So I think that's apart from all the beauty of the film, that's just one thing that stood out to me there.
Well, you work with Film Mayo, and of course it's to promote filmmaking in County Mayo. You've had a couple of great successes there lately with the Banshees, and again here tonight now for the My Sailor My Love.
Yeah, well, Film Mayo is part of Mayo County Council. It's an initiative to promote film in the west of Ireland. So, for example, on this particular production, we would have worked with Christy Nyland, who's the location manager, and would have helped him with whatever queries that he had. We also worked with David Collins, who's over Samson Films, and David actually gave a masterclass for us for filmmakers locally. So that's great. We had in and around 20 filmmakers locally attending that masterclass. It's an online masterclass. And we worked with Edwina Forkin. She's connected to Mayo. She has relatives here as well. She's the line producer. So it was great to have that kind of connection with the different filmmakers. So we were lucky to be able to connect in and help people as much as we can. You would have heard during the speeches there, it was saying how there was lots of local cast, extras, there was local trainees on the film. So it all gives back to filmmaking within Mayo, which is fantastic.
Jesus, Mum.
That's enough!
This is the last great love song.
I said, will you marry me?
And nothing would make me happier.
It's hard to believe our second time here in the past 6 months.
Achill going out to the world again tomorrow night on all the big screens. And it's a proud day for Achill, it's a proud day for its diaspora and for our parish in particular, But it's also a great benefit to Mayo in general and what this is going to do for Achill and for Mayo. It's not just about Achill, it's about Mayo. Like 2 films being made in Achill Island, like the amount of footfall, the amount of industry that's going to come into County Mayo on the back of that, to me is unbelievable. Like the Banshees of Inisherin, they're up for an Oscar on Sunday night, hopefully to be successful. The release of this film here tonight. So who knows where it'll all go, But for Mayo in general, for the tourism industry in Mayo, to Achill itself, it's great. It's great to see that all the communities are pulling together, they're all working together, and this is the outcome of it, success. And if Mayo is promoted and Achill are promoted, there's no doubt about it, Ireland is one of the top places to visit. And you can see by the scenery that's been there tonight in the film, it's unbelievable, it's just unbelievable, the natural scenery that we have in Achill Island. And, hopefully that Achill and Mayo will reap the rewards of the last 6 months and the 2 films that were made in Achill Island. But there's no doubt about it, the knock-on effect that's going to be to the tourism industry is going to be unbelievable. And as I said earlier on, it's not just about Achill, it's about Mayo, Westport, Castlebar, Mulranny, Newport. All these areas are going to benefit. People are going to visit Mayo, they're going to come to Achill to see where these both of these films were made. And hopefully they will be a great success at the Oscars. I was just looking for Annie.
I am nobody's fool.
I just came to apologise, to ask you to come back.
Henry, I am still trying to wipe the tears away from my eyes. I absolutely loved it. I loved the storyline. It was really, really captivating. And as for the landscapes and seascapes of Achill, we know they're unique, but the showcasing of them in My Sailor My Love is something out of this world. They were absolutely spectacular. From the clouds in the sky to the light in the sky and the horizon, the sea itself. And actually, I think from the cliffs, we'll see a few new proposals from those locations when people descend on Achill to visit all of the locations of the movie.
Now, Mayo County Council are very much involved in promoting movie making here in the county, and of course, great success lately as well. Where do you see the future of filmmaking here?
I see it growing. I see the future of filmmaking in Mayo growing because we've been working very hard with all of our communities to promote Mayo as a location for film. And this year, as we know, we've seen Achill just rise to the top of that list. So in terms of the benefit of what we call and what's termed film-induced tourism, there is that whole tourism spin-off for the accommodation providers and the businesses and so on. But in addition to that then drives economic development and economic investment into the region. And I suppose another one that may not always come to mind is the whole community benefit and the intangible benefits, because it fills a community with excitement and pride, and you can't, that only comes by having energy like these new films being developed and created and made right here in Mayo.
The film was brilliant. It was for me, a fantastic postcard to the region, and also the region really worked well with the character development, and I think the rugged natural beauty of Achill worked exceptionally with the unfiltered relationships between the main characters, so I thought it was fantastic.
Henry, how are you doing? I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very enjoyable movie. I thought it was a moving storyline. I think it could resonate with a lot of families around the globe. The big winner to me is Achill. Scenery is outstanding. But honestly, I think the storyline could have happened in downtown New York or London, Dublin, whatever. It's just a great storyline, some great acting.
Well, I absolutely love the film. This is my second time seeing it. I was very fortunate to be at the premiere in Toronto. With all the cast and some of the crew and the producers and the director, and I bawled then and I bawled just now. It's an incredibly emotional film, but for all the right reasons.
It was absolutely amazing. The acting, the scenery, absolutely everything about it. And the storyline was just fabulous.
It's a real love story.
It is, and it's a different kind. It's the older love story rather than the younger ones. It's two elderly people falling in love, which was just, it was sweet. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film. Very great storyline. The shots and the scenery was something that really sold the area very well. Coron, the Peninsula, Achill really did a great job. Also the music, the background music was fantastic. I have to say, really impressed with it. And certainly I would advise anyone to go and see it. It's a lovely film, you know, it's really well put together and great night's enjoyment.
Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, most enjoyable night. To the producers, the cast, I want to congratulate them. As a member of Mayo County Council, this is an excellent opportunity. We're always talking about, you know, Henry, the importance of tourism in County Mayo. This is an excellent opportunity to showcase Mayo. You know, we know what the Quiet Man has done for Cong in the past. This is the same, is going to happen for Achill. And it's just the start of it. I foresee, in conjunction with Mayo County Council, many, many more opportunities like this, and then look forward to working with the cast and the crew into the future.
We're going to leave you now with the official trailer of the much acclaimed film My Sailor, My Love. So until next week at the same time, slán go fóill.
Just to warn you, my father can be a little bit tricky.
How much is she paying you?
400.
I'll give you 5. If you never darken my door again.
I'm stretched to breaking point as it is. I have my father to worry about. I have this useless bloody therapy I go to week after week.
I was just looking for Annie.
I am nobody's fool.
I just came to apologise. To ask you to come back. There we are.
You and Howard are friends, right? That's right. But you work for him. Can I tell you a secret? I'm actually quite enjoying myself.
So, he didn't tell you I was coming?
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot. What's your secret?
I suppose I just take him as I find him.
Dear Annie, can't you see what's happening here?
Dad?
His whole life has been about making sure that all of his needs were met.
Grace! Starts to feel like a stranger.
He may tell you he loves you, Annie, but there's only one person he cares about. Jesus, Mum.
That's enough!
This is the last great love song.
I said, will you marry me?
Then nothing would make me happier.
If you care in any way, I need you to leave.
What we have here is not going to happen again.